Rowan, you are here to talk to me today as part of the GSA is 90 podcast series, and I'm so glad that you've said yes and you were happy to come and talk to me. So welcome.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the GSA Society because you are this year's president.
I am indeed.
Yeah. So I thought one of the things you could do to start us off is for anyone listening who doesn't even know what the GSA Society is and how massively integral it is to people's experience here. Just tell us a little bit about that. What's the GSA Society?
Yeah, so the society is, so like any other society at a university, it runs events. We do little things throughout the year that people can get involved in. Sort of the outside life from GSA, like people can shut off from what they're doing and go to an event. We run things like the graduation ball. We have society reps as well who come to us with ideas. So, for example, we've got a sustainability rep who has come to us about litter picking and different things like that.
Great, brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's kind of all things GSA, I guess separate to the courses, actually what people are doing. Yeah, brilliant. So there's one thing to kind of be here and be part of the society as a student, but it's quite another to put yourself up for election as president. So what was it that, what made you think, I really like it, and I think I might even put myself up to lead the society?
Yeah, so when I first came in, it was in Freshers. I was talking to a mate of mine and I said, I want to do that job. I was looking at Gio, who's the predecessor, and she looked like she was having so much fun. And then as the year sort of went on, I saw what they were doing with events and stuff, and I thought, yeah, that's a bit of me. I'd love to do that.
Great.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's, it's quite a big task, isn't it? Yeah. And I think because you said it like any society, but I feel like it's like almost every student at GSA, and that's kind of 550 upwards.
Yeah, so it's a bit different in that sense that we're not just taking on like a football club or something like that. Like it is the whole school. So it does seem a bit daunting in that sense, but once you've got into it, it's a lot easier then. Yeah.
And I love that you mentioned Gio as somebody who's done it before you. So let's mention Trudy before her.
Yes.
We've got kind of each year there's a different person who brings to it their I guess their thing, their ideas, their energy, their passions. And I really like how usually it's somebody from a different course.
Yeah.
So you're on the Applied and Contemporary Theatre BA.
I am indeed, yes.
Do you want to say a little bit about your course, and then we might talk about kind of how you see your course fitting into the wider GSA as well?
Yeah. So our course is a lot newer than the other courses at GSA. And so as a whole, it's sort of theatre making, if you want to put it down to something easy to say. So you've got the applied side, which is facilitation, creating your own theatre, then contemporary is obviously more newer stuff and newer theatre that we're involved in. But yeah, there's a lot that goes on. We do everything, acting, singing, we do all the
skills
subjects, all the skills, as well as then big projects. A lot of them we go out into the community and do performances or workshops with community groups, which I really enjoy doing.
Tell us one of the projects that you were part of last year, just by way of example for people.
So one of them was Theatre of Communities. So we were in groups of about 4, and we had to reach out to a community group, and we had to inform them what we wanted to do with them, how we wanted to work with them, all by ourselves, no teachers involved, we had to do all that ourselves. And then from what we gathered, we created a performance for them. It could have been a workshop, but my group created a performance. And we actually went to the community group and did a workshop with them to gather information. We put that into our performance, and then it was about 2 weeks later, we took the performance to the community group.
Great.
And performed it for them.
And you worked, that was all, that project for you was with an LGBTQ group, wasn't it, locally?
Yes.
And because you get to choose kind of which community group, which participants you want to work with. Yeah, great. Okay. So that's a tiny, tiny little insight into your course. We have another podcast episode with Georgia Bowers, the programme leader, if anyone's interested in hearing a bit more about the programme.
Yeah.
But actually, for now, tell us a little bit about, I guess, wider life at GSA. So I'm thinking of things like GSA labs, and some of those, some of the competitions, some of the other things that go on. Again, they're outside of everybody's programme. But they're these opportunities to really engage in creative activity. Often it's collaborative. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Lab specifically was set up by one of our graduates, and so that's a night where you can bring in your own performances, your own things that you've created, and show off to the people at GSA. It's such a lovely night, and anyone can get involved. You can bring in anyone you want. You can be in other people's performances, and yeah, like you said, there labs. There's the choreography competition. There's things that you can get involved in that take your mind off your course and just put you into something else. And I think it's really nice because you don't always get the opportunity to perform in places like Bel Air's, and so it's nice to have something else just to put your mind off your course and do something that's nice for you and for the people around you. People from different courses come together to do it. It's really lovely.
Great. And yeah, so takes your mind off your course, but also gives you a chance to work with other people. Yeah, that's really interesting. That's making me think about even wider life, actually. Maybe say a little bit, if you can, about, people might live in halls in their first year, for example. So you're on campus. Maybe you live with people from GSA, but maybe there are other students on other courses too. And then after that, often, not always, but often people move into shared houses. So while we are here, and you can give us a student perspective on life, tell us a bit about that. How's that worked for you?
So first year I was in halls, which I think was brilliant. I think unlike other drama schools that don't necessarily get that, it was quite nice to be involved with the University of Surrey in that sense. But I'm in a house now with people from my course, which is also lovely. It's been so nice. In that sense, it's been really lovely.
So you did that move from I guess it's kind of safety or convenience of halls in year one, because you're literally 10-minute walk, or depends which halls you're in, but not far away from your first class at 9 o'clock in the morning. But then, people kind of then move out, don't they? And you're somewhere in Guildford, still not too far away. No.
And it's a lot easier than you think moving into a house. It seems scary because it's very grown up, but it's a lot easier than you think,
Great, that's brilliant. My next question is really open, but I wondered if you could give us 3 things. Let's start with 3. We might add a few more as we go. Yeah. But your 3, I guess, favourite things about GSA, which sounds a bit cheesy, but I suppose I'm really keen that we draw on your experience as a student, because I can say what I think is brilliant about GSA, but I think anybody who's thinking about applying here, or maybe has already been offered and is just, listening to this thinking, what on earth is it going to be like? Yeah. Tell us from a student perspective, what do you think's good about GSA?
I think that it's an incredibly inclusive space. I think that the teachers and the students work hard to be allies for people who are here, for even if that's in the queer community, if there's a disability, it seems a lot easier for me and other people that have been in college, say, or school. It just seems freer. Which is, I was scared about coming here because I was very much still hiding away, but I think it brought it out, and it made it so easy for me to just be me and be a student here,
That's great.
as anyone else is, which has just been lovely.
And it is scary because it's unknown, you know, and part of why we wanted to do these chats is to kind of, we don't want anything about GSA to be a mystery or a secret. It's like, let's open things up. Let's just tell people how it is. So that's really, really lovely to hear that, you know, you found that once you were here, you met lots of people that were very open and respectful and welcoming of you as a person and, you know, value you for who you are, really. Yeah. And I think it's interesting about inclusion and an inclusive environment, because for me, that's so important to me. And I do always think we can only ever strive for that. Like, we can't say we are inclusive at everyone. Everyone, you know, think we will always encounter kind of hitches and bumps, and people will experience something that's less positive than I would want it to be. But I feel like as long as we talk about these things and we're always like open to improving, that's the best way we can achieve that. Yeah. That's great. Brilliant. Definitely. Give me another one.
So I think that in terms of the teachers, I think our course is a little bit smaller. The numbers on our course anyways in my year are quite small. But I still think that the teachers are there to be one-on-one as much as they can be. And the feedback that they give is crazy extensive. They give a lot of feedback, which is brilliant because you know what you've done right and what you could do in the next year or the next term in terms of where they've given you the feedback. That's also easy to access. It comes straight through into your emails. You could contact teachers anytime, they're going to reply, which I think is really lovely, because sometimes people are worried about talking to teachers necessarily about something they could be struggling with, but it's easy. They're there to do that for you. So and they want you to achieve as much as you do. So that's
a strength. That's good. That's really good. It's funny because a number of times somebody might say, I know you're really busy, and they ask a question or they need a bit of help, and we're like, no, we're only busy because we're here to help you. Yeah. That's all there is to it. So ask away.
I'm definitely guilty of saying that.
That's good. And a third one, have you got another one that you think, if you think about GSA, what would you say about it to somebody that's interested to know more?
I think that it's like a family at GSA, I would say. Like, as soon as you branch out of your course and you do things that you're not necessarily think you're going to do or you're pushing yourself to do, it's definitely a place where people are going to applaud you for that. They're going to make sure that you're doing what you want to be doing, you're striving for what you want to do, and things like labs and stuff is just amazing for that. And I think for the society, like you'll go to an event and you'll be speaking to loads of people you've never spoke to before, that sometimes you don't even realise are at GSA, and that happens all the time. But I think that's also the lovely part of the society, is that it's a time for people to connect from different courses, because we're busy on our courses, so downtime is small, but it's definitely a positive to like student life at GSA, definitely, because it gives people something to look forward to in terms of not relating to their course and giving them a little bit of time to get to know people.
Brilliant, that's great. And, you know, getting to know people, there's a lot of students at GSA. We're kind of upwards of 550 now. Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's funny to hear you say sometimes you meet someone and you're like, oh, I'm at GSA. Yes, so am I. And you don't know everyone. But those spaces that you create in the kind of evenings or weekends are really good spaces to find each other and kind of connect in a different way. Yeah. And I think about that for international students who've come, you know, to the UK from their home country. Like, so many people really value that chance to kind of meet others and just connect as people, irrespective of whether you're on, you know, musical theatre or applied and contemporary theatre or whatever. That's great.
I think freshers is definitely also another good thing that the society do, because it's a whole week of just before you start, so you're not going to be just with your people on your course. Obviously it's an amazing time to speak and get to know the people on your course, but also there's so many events that you aren't just stuck with the people on your course. You go out to different places, you work in different teams. Like it's definitely a week to get to know the people around you and see if you can do things together. Like I know that people connected in freshers and have done stuff in labs and choreography competitions, so it's definitely a week to put yourself out there and get to know people.
Brilliant. Well, I hope it goes really well.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you so much for coming to chat with me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure.